staying on the ice, but moving to the NHL. The Bruins make a big trade, and actually, I think they made out in the deal, making a trade with the Buffalo Sabres and picking up Taylor Hall. A big wing for this Bruins team. He can score, he can handle the puck, brings some physicality. A very talented player over the years. Actually, won the MVP a few years ago. His game has dropped off a little bit, but Bruins picking him up is huge, Brandon.
Yeah, I think this is a huge move, bringing in Hall, bringing in a player that can get it done and can help out several lines depending on where you want to play them. But yeah, I honestly was shocked though, because I mean, Buffalo is really one of our rivals. So it's really one of those things where seeing two rival teams trade with each other, it would kind of be like seeing the Patriots trade with the Dolphins. And it's just like, you don't rarely see that happen. So I think this was a big move, and obviously it was a move that fit for both teams because it happened. But I think it was one of those things too where they were available to play immediately, and I think this just talks to how fast they got the deal done, but also to these hockey players just being like, hey, just suit me up. I'm ready to go out there no matter what. Because I mean, they were just ready to roll night one. I mean, they were practicing day one, available game one, ready to get out there on the ice. So I was extremely impressed with that. And, Boston, we love that as we're a tough city. We're not going to put up for losing. We're not going to put up for laying down. So to have this guy come out and just say, hey, that's how you gain fans in Boston, to say, I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play right now. I'm ready to play night one. And I love seeing how obviously our coach there, Bruce Cassidy, saying these guys know that they're coming into an organization that they know doesn't accept losing. This is a city that doesn't accept losing. We've got to get back to championship level. And hopefully these are the guys that can help us do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Back in 2010, Taylor Hall was drafted number 1 overall by, I believe, Edmonton. And then the Bruins, number 2 overall, drafted Tyler Seguin. And everybody, both players were considered the 2 top players. And it was just a matter of who's going to get, who Edmonton was going to take 1, and then the Bruins were going to take whoever wasn't taken first overall at number 2. But the funny thing is, a lot of hockey experts were saying, the Bruins really needed more of a winger, which is what Taylor Hall is, and the Edmonton Oilers needed more of a center, which is what Tyler Seguin really was. He ended up playing on the wing for the Bruins. He was a forward for the Bruins, but was kind of more of a center and more of a facilitator. But so now the Bruins finally get Taylor Hall 10 years later. So very interesting. You bring a guy who can really skate too, and I know that. The Bruins have a good amount of players who are, sort of getting towards not the end of their careers, but are, almost close to the back nine, should we say, with Bergeron, David Krejci, still very good. But those guys are also more like facilitators as well. You bring in a little bit more talent on the offensive end, a guy who can really handle the puck, who can skate, who can shoot. And a guy with some size on the wing. I mean, the Bruins, they used to be the big bad Bruins when they had Lucic and a few other guys when they won the Cup in 2011. So now, they bring in a Taylor Hall to bring some more size back in, but also some skill and some speed. And I think it's really going to help this team. He actually, his game the other night, he didn't score, but he set up some plays where some guys were able to score. So he didn't get a hockey assist, but he almost had a hockey assist a couple of times the other night. So he's going to be big for the Bruins. It's a guy that they've been talking about for, I think, all season long. Everybody keeps saying, the Bruins going to get Taylor Hall. And then people were thinking that the Bruins were going to get Jack Eichel. He played over at Boston University and then went to the Sabres a couple of years ago. Eichel, they actually just announced today, is out for the season. I think the Sabres also shut down Ben Bishop and a couple other players today. So I think the Sabres are kind of packing it in. They're like, okay, we're not going to win anything this year. We're done. That's why they gave up Taylor Hall. But this is huge for the Bruins. I think this is a big move, and this is gonna help them. In a season like this where things are kind of all over the place, you had some COVID issues. Tuukka Rask was out for a little while. You bring a guy like Taylor Hall, and it kind of gives you a little bit of juice during the middle of the season as you're trying to gear up, get a good seed, and make a playoff run.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where hockey is one of those games where you can impact the game and still have a great game without scoring a point. And so I think he came in the other night and still had a really good game, helped the team get a W and play really well. Like you said, he didn't score a point, but he still helped and that to get us over the top and get a win. And I think that's really what he's been brought in for. And more to your point, with aging players like a Bergeron or a Marchand or a Krejci, I think it's time to win. It's time to win now. And so they needed a little bit more help, like you said, more of like a guy that's going to come in and help secure up some of the lines and maybe play that enforcer role a little bit, bring a little bit more physicality to our lines. And so I think this is what it does. And so I don't know, but it's time to win. And I think this is the move that it's saying. It's time to win now for the Bruins, whether it's this year or next year. I think they really have to make a push to get another cup into the city. And hopefully this is a move that's going to help them do it.